Welcome to Wisdom Friday. How to deal with the mundane day-to-day tasks. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 8 says, let's read it verbatim. Finishing is better than starting. Patience is better than pride. So the end of something is better than the beginning of something. Patience is better than pride, okay? So you can start a project and not finish it. You can start to go to school and not finish it. You can start courting someone and see as difficult and abort the mission. You can start ministry and not finish it because it's getting hard. But how do you persevere through that? Ecclesiastes 7:8 says, the end of something is better than the beginning of something. Meaning that you have to focus on what is the end goal, what is the bigger picture, not necessarily the mundane day-to-day tasks that are contributing to that goal. Focus on the fact that the end of that project, of that assignment, of that vocation is better than the beginning of it. You can start well. You can start robust and enthusiastic, but are you able to persevere through and be patient through the mundane day-to-day tasks that contribute to finishing strongly and robust? Now, in the book of Galatians chapter 5, I believe, yes, 5 verse 7, it says, you were running the race so well. Who has held you back from following the truth? You are running the race. That's a race of faith. Like you're running, you're on it. You're serving God. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You are planted. You are listening to principles. You are learning, breaking bread with believers. You're on it. You're running the race so well. You're doing the projects, whatever God assigned to your life so well. But who hindered you during that race? What or who hindered you? What circumstance hindered you? What situation hindered you? What person hindered you? You could also be a hindrance to yourself. You can also be a hindrance to your own assignment. So who hindered you? Was it a person? Was it you? A circumstance? A situation? A minor inconvenience? Who hindered you back from following the truth? What is the truth? Whatever God has told you to do, that is the truth. This is the truth. Your assignment is the truth. Christ is the truth. Who hindered you? Who held you back? Now, in the book of Joshua, we see the children of Israel, they have an assignment. They are to conquer Jericho. It's a huge assignment. This is the promised land. They've crossed over and they get instructions to march around Jericho 6 times in silence. 6 days, once per day in silence. Now, I can imagine the first day being like, yes, we got this. Enthusiastic, walking around, marching. Day 2, yeah, there's some enthusiasm there, marching around in silence once that day. Day 3, it's kind of getting boring, but let's just do what we're told to do. March around enthusiastically because we're going to conquer the promised land. Day 4, it's starting to be mundane. Like, what are we even doing? How are we going to conquer a city by just walking around the city once in silence? Day 5, you start to question what you are doing. It seems insane. It seems crazy, but God said, do this. So you have to remind yourself of the instructions that God gave you. That is what keeps you on that track. That is what keeps you faithful to that. That is what keeps you following the truth. Like Galatians 5:7 talks about. You are running the race. Who hindered you from following the truth? Okay? Day 5, you continue. Day 6, you continue. Day 7, march around 7 times. But the 7th time, scream and shout, the walls will come down. That was the end of that. They had to persevere through day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then finally day 7. The end was more important than the beginning. You can start well and not end well. But how do we do this practically, Primrose? How do we start a project, start schooling, start healing internally, start deliverance journey, start the healing journey, start the ministry, start the assignment, whatever God has put into your heart to do? How can you pull through the day-to-day tasks that are so mundane and so boring that they seem minuscule and useless? How? Make a list. Make a list, document when you have accomplished something, and then finally, remind yourself of remind yourself of the bigger picture. And whenever God shows you a dream or a vision that has to do with that particular project, assignment, document that. It's an encouragement. God is encouraging you. Hey, we're doing this, and here's an encouragement. Document the visions and dreams concerning that particular matter to keep you focused. Okay? Now, the list that you write down, make it like a bullet point where you can mark, this is done, this is done, this is done. That gives you some kind of comfort and accomplishment. When you actually do some of these things, you get a boost of energy to be like, okay, so I've done A, I've done B, I've done C. Now I need to do the rest. Okay, so that's the importance of making a list. The importance of documenting is you keeping track of what all has been done, what all needs to be done, and when something shifts and pivots. Let's say you're doing a project of some sort, and then you find out that what you thought was the proper way is not the proper way. You gain new information, maybe from a dream or a vision. You need to pivot that project at some point. Having documentation is going to help you pivot that clearly. You have, okay, I've done this, but here I see a hurdle. I can change it to this thing right here. Okay, so document what you have accomplished. Document what needs to be done. Document the hurdles, the challenges. The hope, remind yourself of what God said. And then I also want to include this particular part. Learn from other people. There are people who have gone before you who may have done something similar. So be open to being taught about something that may not be your forte. Be open to learning from other people.